We're here with head softball coach Sharon Perkins. And coach, you guys just finished up another successful fall season, and I know it's not so much about the scores in the fall, but getting people experience and getting the freshmen their game legs. And who did you think really stepped up their game in this fall, and you're excited to see come out in the spring?
I think quite a bit of them, even some returners. It was nice to see some of them step up. I think we've been making some good adjustments at the plate, and I think our pitching staff is pretty strong, so it's exciting to watch.
Now, what are you looking for in the fall? I know you guys do keep score, but sometimes you go out there with different situations. You're getting all of your pitchers in. No one really pitches an entire game, and
right.
You might want to bring a starter in a relief just to see how she reacts. But what are some different things that you guys talk about, to try to do when you get in the game experience?
I think we're just trying to put different people in different positions, see how they work well with the people next to them, and have the pitchers throw to different catchers and that type of thing, and see how the catchers react to the different pitchers. I think that's probably the most important thing, see how everybody plays next to each other.
Well, now that the team time has wrapped up, it's certainly not an off season for you guys. Lots of recruiting coming up,
right.
with Georgia playing in the fall with the high school going on, and your individual time. But just walk us through, an average week of what goes on between now and when you pick up team time again in January.
Well, definitely the most important thing is academics here. So we just, do our best to work around their class schedules and make it easier on the student athlete for sure. And then, we try to keep the infielders together and the outfielders together and keep working on things there, and then just keep working on our offense as always.
Now, about recruiting, with Georgia being in the fall, is that kind of a blessing for you guys, where so many other places across the country, they're in the spring when you're playing your games, but
right.
You've got a chance to go recruit some of the country's best kids here in Georgia when you're not in team time, and it's much easier to get out on the road.
It is. It's a great advantage for us for sure. I know a lot of people think that it's odd and it's different and that, but for us it's a great thing. It's a huge advantage. There are so many schools just right around where I live, so I can drive right down the road and see some great softball. So it's nice for us to see. You got the state tournament coming up, and then some other out-of-state things.
Now, expectations next year may be a little high from some people. You won the ACC tournament last year, the regular season, and making a super regional. What do you need to do now as a team to try to curb that and know that you're going to be going into the season as the 100 team in the ACC?
I think just keep improving. I know we have some things to improve on. It's like, well, you want to win ACCs, you want to win the tournament and do well every weekend, but we're looking for the end of the line tournament. So we're trying to make it through the entire season and get to the World Series. So it's just, every weekend you just work to improve.
Now, this will be your first off season with use of the new facility, and you kind of moved right in at the beginning of last year. But how much does that help you guys now, having that chance, and if it's raining or it's a little
right.
cooler out, to have that indoor building where you can hit, you can take infield in there, and just talk about that a little bit.
It definitely makes it better for the student athlete. I talked about academics already, but we do work around their class schedules, so sometimes it makes for different practice times. We might go a little bit later, which is great. We have the lights now where we can go at night if we want to and have a nice comfortable team practice where they're not rushing to and from class, and even go in the indoor cages if we need to. We can pitch, we can hit, we can go live hitters against pitching in there, so there's a lot of things that we can do.
Well, last question, you're going to come into next season. The schedule not out yet, but it's going to be another doozy. ACC is an up-and-coming conference, and sending 3 teams to the tournament, and you're going to have a lot of trips next year and a couple trips out west and hosting another tournament. But just talk about the advantages of having that stadium, knowing that you can play night games, and you can bring in teams. We saw Alabama come in last year. This year you're going to have a tournament, and just the advantages of being able to do that now.
I think it makes a big difference in the minds of the student athletes. I think if you're used to just playing on a field that's only a field, and then you get kind of wowed when you go to another facility that is like ours. So I think they're comfortable. We get a great crowd there, and it gets kind of loud, and they're used to playing in that environment. And now it makes a difference when you go to Alabama or another school like that, or a Florida for postseason play. Then you're already used to that environment, and it just makes it easier for the student athletes.
Well, thanks, Coach, and good luck next season.
Thanks.